Hello everybody, it's Renikin again. Um, so I've decided since my upload count was very low during the last few days, I'm doing something that will be called Games Commentary. Because for you should know, if you don't listen to my videos at all, uh, I live very close to Cologne, like 20 minutes with the train away. And so Gamescom is for me 4 days every year as a visitor. And yeah, so let's get started. Today was the first day for normal visitors, VIP people, and press can go in on Wednesdays, normal people on Thursdays. And I'm always joined by my friend called Chris, at least for the last few years, uh, except for last year, I think. Yeah, last year he started his apprenticeship, so that started 2 or 3 days before Gamescom, and he didn't want to go, understandably, um, so he don't piss anyone off. So what did I do today? Day one for us is always exploration day. We get like a mind map of what we want to do, where everything is, what we're gonna see, and plan ahead of time where we will be at certain points in time. For me, it was seeing Battlefront, seeing Dark Souls 3 and 3, and seeing what's it called, Fallout 4 and Rainbow Six, close to the same as Chris. Just he didn't want to see really Dark Souls, which is understandable. Um, we just ran around, saw everything, and in the end of all things, we had so much time left, like half a day, because we're so used to where everything is. After 5 years, like Blizzard is always in the same hall. Uh, Battlefield and stuff is most of the time in the same hall. They relocated after the second Gamescom or so because everything was in Hall 6. Uh, just to say, there's 4 halls in general for games. That is 6, 7, 8, 9. And then there's 10, which is for general stuff like laser tag and I think, um, what's it called? Remote car driving with the remote control. You know what I'm saying. RC racing. Um, and then there's Hall 5 with the merchandise. So we had so much spare time left that we wanted to queue for Battlefront first. So we stood in the queue and it was about 2 hours and I thought, well, that's going pretty fast. And all of a sudden I see, wait, that's the PS4 version with the Starfighter thingy. I don't know what the mode is called. I quickly look. Star Wars Battlefront. So it's something with Starfighter, Fighter Squadron. That's what it was. So we queued for that, and we got in quite fast. We wanted to play Walker Assault because, as you may have noticed in one of my rants, uh, I'm very skeptical of the game at the moment. But the Fighter Squadron mode was very, very funny. It was like superior air superiority with objectives. Um, Not quite in space, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Um, Next thing would be what I've seen there. Yeah, that's better. Um, the Fighter Squadron mode was, as I've already said, a superiority mode. Your fighters have two abilities. I played on the Empire side, so I flew a TIE fighter, which had a speed boost and proton torpedoes, I think, which were like homing missiles and could hardly be dodged. the trick about flying is you have a bar on the bottom of the screen. That's yeah, that's accurate. You have like a bar on the bottom of the screen, and this bar is your um is like an adjuster for if it's yellow, you have more maneuverability. You fly faster, you go better in curves and stuff like that. Um, sorry, I had to drink a bit. If you had the bar on for red, your shots would be more damaging and stuff, but you would lose the maneuverability. Um, and Chris, who was with me there, he flew on the rebel side. He stood right beside me and he demolished everything. He was first place on that. Well, I was fourth on the second round and I think second last on the first round because I can't play with the PlayStation controller and I can't play with invert axis. I'm really, really bad when it comes to playing with invert axis. If I press down, I want to fly down. If I press up, I want to fly up. That's why I never become a pilot because I would crash that shit instantly. Um, yeah, that was quite fun. We will try Walker Assault mode Saturday, when there will be another friend with us. Maybe even tomorrow, just test run if the queue is not that long. After that, we played Rainbow Six actually, which was quite fast in the queue. I think half an hour, maybe a bit more. I think 40 minutes. And it's like Counter-Strike, just with more gimmick. Yeah, that's fitting. You pick a class, then you get on the attacker or the defender side. That at least was the demo we have seen. And you would on the attacker side, you would have two phases. First of all, a drone phase where you would control like a remote drone, which looked like I don't know. It looks like a not a water bottle, but for example, the packaging of Pringles, of chips, um, potato chips, like those tubes, and you would guide that around, and you could use every single crook in the wall and every single, I don't know, opening in the house to get into the house itself, and you had to locate the defenders, which would pull up barricades at windows and doors. So you could either kill them all or take their thing they had to defend, which was like a uranium or stuff like that. It was something radioactive in the demo. And when you played as a defender, you would, as I said, barricade yourself and camp in a room nearby or in the same room of that objective and wait for the attackers to come. They had a set time limit and there was no respawn, like Counter-Strike. Um, but unlike Counter-Strike, you don't have jumping. You have crouching. Well, you have crouching in Counter-Strike, but you have proning. And you could even prone backwards. You could lay on your back and crawl backwards. It was very, very cool. And the system about it was with aiming and stuff. It was very, very unique in a way that everyone had its own ability and had, I think, two of them. Like I played a dude who could even put up an additional shield, which was very, very practical because you could pull up a barricade and then put a shield right behind that barricade. So when they shot through the barricade would break, but there would still be the shield. So they had to break the upper part, while the lower part is worse defended because on the lower part of the barricade there is a slight piece of like tiny gap where you could shoot through. So we lost. No, we won the first round, lost the second round, and lost the third round. But it was very, very fun. Just very, very short. The next game we stood in line for was Hitman Absolution, not Absolution, the new Hitman, which is I think only called Hitman, where we got to see a demo level of the game. It was like a stage, like a catwalk, and you had to kill one of the I don't know what it's called. I don't even know the German word. He was like the boss of the models. He was like the Heidi Klum of the models there. So you would have to kill him because he's a big player in a antagonistic organization, which was cool because you would have to even track him at some points, and you could discover new, I think, background information, new lore, like uh, in other games when you just stood there and followed him around. It wasn't like in other stealth games where you would just wait for him to be at the right spot. But it was like if you follow him around, you get so much background information and you would get so much information about diverse people who were big players in the game just because people in the crowds would tell you about them or tell other people about them and you would just pick up stuff. It looked very gorgeous and you would have so many abilities to kill people. I've seen stuff like um, electrocuting people because of, I don't know, overcharging certain generators and stuff like that. You could do so many creative ways to kill people. It's a perversion actually. But that was cool. The line of it was just too fucking long because it was just that movie, and that took about 20 minutes, I think, because you would also see the trailer which was released today in Germany time for the Hitman movie, and we got to see that. We could even win cards, movie cards, tickets. Tickets is the word. Movie tickets for the movie, and very, very cool. I had to say, but didn't win anything because I'm not so hyped about Hitman stuff. I like stealth games and I like Hitman, but I'm not like the deepest Hitman nerd. And yeah, got to see that. And after that, we went to Fallout 4, which was very, very interesting because it was also a presentation, but we got in instantly. Like we stood 5 minutes in the queue and you had that giant cinema. And even though it was like what felt like 40 degrees of heat the fucking um, in the fucking center where Gamescom is held, um, the the complete Fallout place was just the complete Fallout place was like, yeah, with holy shit, it was cooled and stuff like that. Sorry, it was just a bit distracted. Was cooled and stuff like that, and you would have that awesome, awesome gameplay footage, which I can't show because they forbid recording. So I just have a screenshot, I think, put up now of the pre-presentation. Um, and you would see very, very cool stuff like, yeah, how different weapons worked, how NPCs interacted with each other. Um, it looks much like the old Fallout 3, but a bit better. And the dog was so fucking adorable. You can say whatever you want about the dog, but the dog was cool. I think they even said the dog was optional completely, which is very good for people who like solo stuff and don't want the dog to annoy other things. So very, very much interesting stuff going on there. Yeah, and that was basically it for games, I think. I didn't get the chance to play Dark Souls because time was very, very short and the Dark Souls queue was very, very, very long. Like we had 2 hours left and it was way over 2 hours. And I will try to get there tomorrow, the earliest time possible, since for everyone who goes there privately, uh, 10 is opening time. You can go there at 9, which stands on the ticket, but you have like 1 hour of good morning show, and then you would get let in. So I just wait that hour. I usually sleep longer and just shit on the hour. Yeah, but that's basically it. I mean, I could talk about other stuff like I went there in my typical Ranakin cosplay, which is like the rogue armor, which you will see sooner or later. Um, I could also put a picture up, but I think I will put up a more recent picture the other day. And yeah, was very, very interesting. Uh, the other cosplayers there were, well, I don't want to be mean, but last year's cosplayers were way, way better. Like you would have way more spectacular stuff going on. But maybe those cosplayers will come around on Saturday, most likely, because most of them are working class citizens and stuff, and don't have the time to go there on Thursdays because they have to earn money too, right? And basically, yeah, not much happened. I let me think. Did I see something else? Well, uh, I can tell you about other queues. I mean, the new Naruto game was like the longest queue I've ever seen in my entire life. Um, right after Diablo 3, I mean, a few years back. But the Naruto uh, queue was longer than the Battlefield one, Battlefront one. Sorry. And what I've also seen was the unveiling of the new WoW expansion, which I've only seen the trailer of. And I have to say, it looks promising, but Blizzard can hype everything up. We know that. Blizzard is a master of hype. And I will try to see earlier what. I try to find early footage of gameplay rather than jumping into an expansion like Draenor again and hyping it up to shreds and then be disappointed by how shitty it was in the end. So, yeah, but that's basically it. Um, on a sad note, someone broke his leg. I saw that today. And on a very sad note, Coke was so quickly sold out that everyone sold only beer and everyone drank beer, only beer, for the last 3 hours or so, or four. That's sad. I saw so many drunk people, but that's again funny. So, haha. Yeah, and what will I try to do tomorrow? We'll try to grab some merchandise, maybe, because the second day is the most often a mix of merchandise day, because merchandise is quite quickly over, like 2 hours max, and try new games. But I will tune down the gaming part a bit because I will push that to Saturday when there will be the other friend who will also be on Sunday. Since tomorrow I will have another friend of mine whose channel is Foodan, which I also linked back in the day when he was an ASMR channel. Why the fuck ever? He will be there with me, and Chris, of course, and we will see, or we will let him experience the Gamescom again. And so I don't want to waste too much time on sitting in queues while he's there only for one day, while we have Saturday and Sunday to kill. And Sunday is always the day where you do the rest of the stuff you wanted to do. But tomorrow will be definitely Dark Souls, no matter what, and maybe some other stuff, depending on what I may find. Maybe hunting cosplayers, I don't know, and and merchandise, of course, which I will put up images tomorrow then on my next games commentary. But yeah, less inform less info. My God, sorry, I'm a bit stressed out because running around 8 hours in a very hot costume at 40 degrees is not a good idea, and drinking too less is also not a good idea. So tomorrow will be the next stuff, and I'm sorry that it's not so much information that I can blow a full hour with it, like for example a Total Biscuit code or something like that. But I just want to show you my perspective of the Gamescom, and for the people who can't be there. And I would be happy to see that people enjoy it actually. So yeah, I would say see you on the next Gamescom commentary, and